There. Tent's all set up. You enjoying that fire? Yeah, it can get a little chilly up here, even this time of year. Kind of a relief, honestly. It's been hot down in Dahlia. Yeah. I figure we just hang out in the camp tonight, get some good sleep, and then try to get up kinda early and take that hike. We should be back well before noon. Even if we take it kinda slow, which I'm fine with. Honestly, the view at the top is good, but not amazing. The really good views are the ones you get along the way. So I'm happy to take it slow. Yeah. There were a couple of things we had to do every trip, no matter who came with. Whether it was just me and my dad, or if Ash or anybody else was along, there were a couple of guarantees. The first is you always have to go for a hike. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be difficult, but you gotta hike at some point. And when you wake up in the morning, you have to make a whole breakfast. No protein bars or snacks or any of that. That's for the rest of the day. First thing in the morning, you gotta make breakfast. And it won't be great. It'll objectively be worse than anything you could make at home, but somehow, being up here, it'll taste amazing. Oh, and my dad's personal rule was that you have to buy a lottery ticket on the drive up. Yeah, just some cheap scratcher. Every time, like clockwork. Didn't matter if we didn't need gas. We'd still end up at a gas station somewhere along the route up here, so we could buy one. He never bought them any other time, just when he was going camping. Never really said why. He'd just say that was when he was feeling lucky. So then, me being me, I tell him luck isn't real. And like clockwork, he'd flip that damn lottery ticket around and say, "Tell that to the $5 I just won." Or however much he'd made that time. I still stand by the fact that luck isn't real. You make your own luck, but damn if coincidence didn't have a way of making an ass out of me every time he bought a fucking lottery ticket. When I was really young, he'd pick them out and let me scratch one of them. I swear it won every time. And then once I got a little older and would pick which one I wanted him to buy me, it was a good trip if I managed to break even. By the time I was old enough to buy them myself, I'd given up on the damn things, but even if I tried to get away with skipping it, he'd buy one while I wasn't looking and then hide it in my pack. And I always knew when he'd done it, because when we'd get to the campsite and start unloading everything, he'd keep glancing over with this shit-eating grin on his face until I found the thing. I still have the last one he ever got me. meant to scratch it on that trip when I found it, but I didn't have a coin with me. They were all in the Jeep, so I just figured I'd scratch it later. And it ended up in my wallet, and I forgot about it. That last trip was maybe a month before the accident. It's been sitting in my wallet ever since. Hey. Scratch it with me. No. If anything, I'm sure if he was here, he'd be giving me shit for not having scratched it that same day, much less 4 years later. Besides, I don't know. Being up here again after all this time with the person I love, it feels like the right time. Here. 1 penny each. You get the top, I'll get the bottom. I'll be damned. $20. Yeah, I'm good. I think I'll just hold on to it still. It's worth a lot more than that. This feels like the right way to spend today. I know some people like to visit the grave on important days, but that's not where I feel him. That's just a cement block and a field of cement blocks. I feel him in his office. My office. I feel him when the pack's all together on the moonbound solstice. I feel him up here. And when I'm up here with you, making new memories, sharing the old ones, it feels good. It actually feels really good. Okay, I'll tell you some stories. There was one time when we came up here, I was maybe, I don't know, 13. I hadn't had my powers for very long, I know that. It was one of the bigger trips we did. Me and Dad, Ash and his dad, Milo, and both his parents. I think Amanda and her mom were there too. I can't remember. Anyway, we took a couple different vehicles to get up here since there was a lot of us. And Milo's parents had this little pickup truck with, like, a bench seat that could seat 3 people, but that was it. But it was a pickup, so it had the bed in the back. I mean, you're not really supposed to ride in the bed of a truck, but up here, going slow, just driving it from the campsite up to the trailhead and back, it's not a big deal. Or at least we didn't treat it like a big deal. In retrospect, maybe we should have. Anyway, so Milo and his dad are in the truck, and me and my dad and Ash are sitting in the pickup bed, driving back from a hike, and we're almost to the campsite. Like, we're in view of it, and it's distributed camping like this, so we're the only ones around, but we can see, Milo's mom and Amanda and Ash's dad and all that, just maybe 100 feet away at the campsite. So, my dad decides it'd be funny to stand up in the bed of the truck and act like he's surfing or something. The road's a mess, so the truck is bobbing back and forth, and, he's got his arms out, trying to keep his balance. Ash and I are laughing, because he's being an idiot. And I guess Milo's dad looks in the rear view and sees him doing it. So he starts kind of turning the wheel back and forth, making the truck move more. And my dad's still surfing, and we're laughing, and I don't know what happened next. I don't know if Milo's dad's foot slipped, or if he thought that a shitty little pickup wouldn't make it over one of the humps in the road, or what, but he hits the gas, and my dad just immediately tumbles out of the back of the truck. And it's a dirt road, so when the truck sped up, it kicked up dirt. So basically, all I see is my dad just disappear out of the back of this moving truck into a cloud of dust. And I don't know what came over me exactly. I don't know what I thought I was going to be able to do, but my body went on autopilot, and I just shift. Right there. No warning, no thinking. I just shift into a wolf on the spot in the back of this truck, and then jump out the back of it into the dust cloud. No clue what I'm doing. I just see my dad fall, and my body says, go to him. Oh, trust me, we'll circle back to that. Anyway, Asher, seeing all this happen, is now overcome with the urge to follow me out the back of the truck. So he shifts on the spot too, and lands maybe a half step behind me, ready for whatever our bodies apparently thought we were going to need to do. And the dust finally settles enough to see properly, and there's my dad in the middle of the dirt road, laid out on his ass, laughing hysterically at himself for having fallen out of the truck. So my brain decides, hey, my dad's fine, he's laughing, I don't need to be a wolf anymore. And I start to shift back and realize halfway through it that I'm now naked because my clothes ripped to shreds when I shifted that fast. So then I managed to stop shifting partway through it and force myself back into my wolf form. And at this point, Ash realizes he's in the same boat because he shifted just as fast as I did back in the truck, but he at least learns from my mistake and stays a wolf. So, we get back into the campsite, and everybody else has seen all of this go down at this point. So, Ash and I run into our respective tents to get a change of clothes and shift back into human form. And by the time I get back outside, Milo's mom has now realized what happened and is taking turns nagging Milo's dad's ear off about being irresponsible and a bad example. And then yelling at my dad while trying to heal the couple scrapes and bruises he got because he can't stop laughing at the ration of shit she's giving her husband. It was a mess. But a very funny mess. We were all laughing about it before long. Even Marie. Though she still found plenty of chances to keep reading the riot act. Yelling that Colm needed to buy us new clothes when we got back in town because it was his fault we shifted, and then telling my dad he was a dumbass for standing up in the back of the truck. God, she's a spitfire. I don't know what we'd do without her. Hey. Thank you for coming up here with me. I didn't realize how much being up here would mean to me until I did it. You're right. I should see if anyone else in the pack wants to do a trip again. It's been a really long time since we did something like that. Ash and Milo's mates have never been up here either, I don't think. It'd be a good time. We'll probably have to wait until after this E&E Games crap. We've been booked for all the qualifier events too, which makes sense, but I mean, there's even more to this thing than there already was. But it's nothing we can't handle. And it's something I can avoid thinking about while I'm up here. I'm glad I got to share this place with you. Yeah. And this has been a dark day these last few years. But this one's felt good. And you're the biggest part of that.